Have you ever wondered what would happen if the President of the United States tried to take control of a city's police force, especially in the nation's capital? Well, that's not a hypothetical anymore. Let's break down the wild political showdown that just shook Washington, D.C. On Friday, August 15, 2025, a high-stakes legal drama between D.C.'s local government and the Trump administration finally reached a settlement. This all started when former President Donald Trump signed an executive order to take over D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department, the MPD. Think about it. A president swooping in, putting federal boots on the ground and trying to run the local cops. That's never happened before, not since the Home Rule Act gave D.C. some measure of self-government back in 1973. Why did Trump do it? According to his lawyers, it all goes back to a controversial immigration order. The administration claimed they needed more control over local law enforcement to enforce federal law, and they didn't want to hand out extra cash to make it happen. So, Trump appointed DEA Chief Terry Cole as the so-called emergency head of D.C.'s police, bumping out Chief Pamela Smith, at least on paper. Understandably, D.C. officials were not having it. The city government, led by Mayor Muriel Bowser and Attorney General Brian Schwalb, immediately sued. They argued this move was not just an overreach but a recipe for operational havoc. Chief Smith herself called the order a greater threat to law and order than anything she'd seen in her nearly 30 years on the force. The battle landed in court with U.S. District Judge Ana Reyes, a Biden appointee. She gave a pretty interesting take. Yes, the law says the president can request control and the mayor must provide, but the president can't just steamroll the entire department. The president can ask, the mayor must provide, but the president can't control, she said. So, there's some wiggle room, but not a blank check for the White House. Now let's talk about the settlement. The Trump administration technically keeps a hand on the wheel, at least for now. Terry Cole isn't taking over as the emergency head, but he does get to direct the MPD through Mayor Bowser, who's now required to comply with his requests. Basically, the administration can call the shots, but Mayor Bowser is stuck in the middle, acting as the go-between. To top it off, Cole gets to use his fancier DEA title, Administrator Cole, instead of Interim Commissioner. Titles matter, I guess. But here's where it gets even crazier. The Home Rule Act, the backbone of DC's self-government, limits any federal takeover to just 30 days, unless Congress says otherwise. Trump's team already announced they're heading to Congress to try to stretch that deadline. If Congress agrees, this tug-of-war could drag on for months. So why does this matter? What's at stake isn't just who wears the badge. It's about the balance of power. How much say should the president have in what happens on the streets of America's capital? And if it can't happen in D.C., could it happen anywhere else? This legal fight is far from over, and you can bet every city leader in America is watching closely. Because today it's D.C., but tomorrow who knows? If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep asking the questions that matter. Thanks for watching.